Life is full of mystery. We are born and then we die. But what happens when we die? Do we go to heaven? Or even worse, hell? Can we communicate with the dead? And if we can, should we? Let's find out.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Pedro Paranormal, the Halloween episode.
Yeah.
Dun, dun, dun. What's up, everyone? We're back here with my co-host Carlos.
Yes. How are you doing?
Should I call you Egon?
Spangler. I'll go by the last name because I'm a doctor.
A.K.A. Spangler.
Dr. Spangler, by the way.
And I'm some kind of rejected Danny Zuko.
Or Crybaby. What's your tears?
Oh yeah, no. I wish I looked like Johnny Depp. Anyways, guys, today's episode we're just gonna keep it light and fun. You know, we're gonna talk about a few things. Yeah. Halloween, of course, and I got a scary story to tell.
Ooh.
Anyways, Carlos, how have you been?
Pretty good. Just doing a lot of Call of Duty.
Oh yeah.
A little bit of that, but mostly I've been keeping it busy with some music and a little bit of a biking. I'm getting back into bicycle riding, so that's a good thing.
There you go.
Trying to get the panza down, a little panza.
That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what? Let me start with a story I want to tell. I think I shared this story a long time ago, but I think it's one of those episodes that people didn't really watch. And since it's Halloween, why not?
Yeah.
So the story I'm going to share tonight is going to be a story that I actually heard from someone that works at Metro PCS. The weirdest thing, right? Because the thing is, every time I go anywhere, the market, any store, even people that sometimes I meet in the street that say hi to me, I'll be like, by the way, do you have a scary story? You know, I have a YouTube channel. Do you want to share a scary story?
Nice.
But I went to Metro PCS, you know, because that's where I have my phone. I'm cheap like that. And I told the worker there, you know, that I had a YouTube channel, and I asked her if she had ever had any like paranormal stuff happen at the job, because that seems to happen a lot. You know, like if you guys go to any store and ask the workers, you know, have you ever had a haunting here at work? 90% of the time, people say yes. Yeah,
I remember a few stories too. Not stories, but people telling me that my house or my job is haunted.
Yeah, the job. You know, the Vons right down the street. Oh, the Smart and Final up on Western. Right. Big Lots in Torrance. Everywhere I've asked, they've always told me. But anyways, getting back to the story. This person that works there, you know, she's like, you know what? It's crazy that you asked me that, because I actually have premonitions of when people die. Oh. And I was like, okay, well, you know, tell me the story. Can I share it? And she said yes. So here it goes.
Oh, okay.
So anyways, this started a while back when she was younger. She would have these dreams. And the thing is, it was weird because it was mixed with what they call la subida del muerto, which they have like the doctors call it sleep paralysis.
Sleep paralysis, right. Yeah.
That's supposedly, you know, the term for it. But in Mexico, you know, when that happens to you, you know, the sleep paralysis where you get kind of stuck in your sleep, they believe it's because there's a spirit. You know, it could be either a demonic spirit or any kind of spirit that's in the house, right, that is able to get on top of you. And what happens is when you're asleep, you'll wake up because you feel this pressure on top of you. This happened to you, right?
It just happened. It happens to me, but it's just, I don't even care anymore when it happens. Because it's happened so many times in my life that I just am like, oh, it's just sleep paralysis. So I would get out of that little thing and I would just flip over on my belly, and I don't get them on my belly. Yeah. Yeah, but it's always when I'm on my back. Yeah. That's when it happens.
Yeah. So this has happened to her forever since she was young, and the thing is, when it would happen, for some reason, it was, you know, she would be in and out of dreams, and she would have dreams of a certain person, right? Let's say it's an aunt of hers or a cousin, and in a couple of days, that family member would pass away.
Oh wow! So she has to know the person first before this happens. Okay.
Yeah.
And then these people just die with a matter of days.
With a matter of days, and she said it's happened like 4 times. So, you know, it got me thinking, because the thing is, when you're sleeping and you have these things, because a lot of times you see people that have passed away in your dreams.
Yes.
Which happens a lot.
Yeah, I've had that several times.
A lot. So it made me think about how when you're like in sleep mode, I guess for some reason your mind must be split into like the other side and our side, right? And that's why also they're able to affect you like with the sleep paralysis. La subida del muerto.
Yeah.
Because it's not really that they're on top of you, but they're on top of the spirit part of you, the soul. Mm-hmm. And that's why you feel that pressure with nothing actually being there, because it's not really on top of your physical self, it's your spiritual self.
Yeah.
Spiritual self. But so anyway, she was telling me this, and I guess her brother passed away too, and she said that when not only did it happen when she would have that experience of the sleep paralysis, she would also dream them, and then the thing is, she would see crows in the sky, and then the deaths would happen. So
yeah, crows are a spirit animal. Don't they represent either life or death or some sort of change?
Yeah, they have some kind of meaning. I think it has something to do with like family spirits or spirit guides or something. But yeah, so she told me that, and I told her that hopefully maybe one day she could come in and do a little story, because the thing is, she says she has a lot of stuff happen in her family. They've lived in houses, and when almost like with Damian Franko, when she moves into houses, she gets the the hauntings and the sensations of somebody being there when
or any house she goes to visit, she gets that.
But I mean, she must be highly sensitive to get to that point where she's able to like know when someone's gonna pass away,
or a different skill altogether, right?
Yeah. I was like, don't dream of me tonight. I'm just kidding. But anyway, that's just one of the little stories I wanted to share, because I did tell her I was going to share it.
Yeah.
But what do you think about that, Carlos? Because you said you suffered a sleep paralysis, right? And I think you shared that in one of the episodes.
Yes. Since I was 7 years old, I would always have sleep paralysis, especially in the old house where it's still back there. We built a new house in the front. There's an old house in the back built in the 1950s. And I would always hear stories about, the guy that used to live there died in that house. And I would think that the restroom was haunted. And when I would go to sleep at night, I'd always go to sleep in fear. And so when I would get sleep paralysis, I believe that because of my fear and thinking of all these things, and with sleep paralysis, I would create these little things through REM or whatever it is that you go through during sleep paralysis that'll create this imagination, and it will run away, and I'll be haunted.
Yeah.
Because at first, in the beginning, when I was younger, I would feel that pressure and something stopping me. But as I got used to it, it's just a stopping force. That's all it is.
Yeah. Well, I started suffering of sleep paralysis when I was in junior high school. I remember that because the thing is, when we were young, we actually had to walk to school. Well, a lot of kids still do.
Yeah.
But we would walk to school, and I remember a lot of times I would stop by the public library. Remember, it's on 9th Street.
Oh yeah.
And I would stop, get books that I wasn't allowed to read, that stuff about ghosts or stuff like that. Yeah. So one day I found this book on, it was like a witchcraft book, which I'm surprised they even had there. And I did end up going back as an adult to look for it, and they didn't have it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. But this book, it explained about how to do out-of-body experiences and stuff.
Oh, wow.
And in detail, like it told you to, where you had to, like, you close your eyes and you see, imagine this. Like, I remember, if I'm not mistaken, this is what it said. It said to, lay down in a room with the lights off, and if it's daytime, just cover the with some curtains, cover the windows and stuff. And what you would do, you start imagining that you're laying like on ground, on dirt, like by a river. And it said, imagine that you could hear the river. You hear the river like running, and also if imagine there's like a waterfall. I think it was like a waterfall, and hearing the water hit the rocks. So after that, it says, okay, now start counting from 100 backwards. And so I did it a few times to the point where it actually happened. It worked. I mean, I think it worked, unless I was dreaming, but
Maybe you were in the state in between the two.
I remember what happened was it was daytime, and we had bunk beds, and I used to sleep on the bottom one, right? So when it happened, I remember I was laying down, and I started seeing. I could see the bunk bed, the boards from the bed on top, and so I'm laying there, and I'm thinking I'm still awake. I'm like, okay, nothing's happened, but then all of a sudden I start feeling like weightless. And I start seeing the boards getting closer to me. And then, I just go through the bed. Uh-huh. It's like I go through the bed and then I see the ceiling.
You're on the other side.
And then I'm all like, whoa, like, it's happened. I did it. It works. But then I started kind of freaking out because I kept going. And then I went through the roof and came out on top. And at that point, that's when I started panicking. And when I panicked, I just got like sucked back down.
That's what normally happens. I've heard. I've never experienced anything like that, but I've heard that as soon as you panic or your heart rate increases, you just suck back into your body again.
Yeah,
kind of like the cartoons where you're trying to put the spirits back into the nine lives. The cat. Was that Tom and Jerry?
Yeah. So at that point, from that point on, that's when the sleep paralysis started happening, and it was really bad. I remember the first few times I would be laying in bed. And it wasn't just the pressure, it was like I would feel like I was getting pulled into like through the bed, almost like getting sucked through the bed, like under the bed. And I would start like trying to scream. But when you get sleep paralysis, you can't talk. You could mumble, like you start making like weird sounds. Yeah. And that's happened to me as an adult because I still get sleep paralysis. And it freaks out my wife, and she'll like slap me to wake me up because she's like, dude, you're making some crazy sounds and it's scaring the crap out of me. And so anyways, when I was a kid, and there was points where I would feel like something grabbing me from the sides and pulling me down, and it would freak me out so bad, dude, so bad. And it was from that point on when I did the out of body experience. So I don't know if I triggered something in my mind or what happened, but it was strong for like a lot of years till I was a grown up, and until now. Of course, now it only happens, let's say, like once a month.
I think you leveled up with a lot of experience points. You gained a new attribute.
Yeah, but you know what? Some of the times, it got to the point where, I got so used to it, right? And when it would happen, I wouldn't panic anymore. I would be like, okay, I know what's going on already. It's I'm having the sleep paralysis. So just breathe, relax, and try to go back to sleep, back into deep sleep. Get away from getting stuck in between the awake and asleep, right?
Right.
So, because I know if I struggle and fight it, it just I go into panic mode and I'll be stuck in panic mode. So if I just breathe and relax, I could actually make myself go back to sleep. Right. But sometimes what would happen is I would be so aware, and sometimes it's like when you try to force yourself to go to sleep and you can't. You have to relax yourself. Yeah, so sometimes that would happen where I'm like, okay, you know what? I'll just suck it up and just lay here. I know I'm stuck in sleep paralysis. I can't wake up and I can't go back to sleep. So I'll just chill till eventually something will wake me up. And once in a while, I would hear somebody running into the room.
Oh, yeah.
And then that would scare me. So I'd be like, okay, wake up, 3, 2, 1, move. Or I'll start trying to move my hands to try to like tap myself to wake up. And eventually I would. But right before I would wake up, I could hear somebody scatter out of the room.
I've witnessed that myself also, and with sleep paralysis.
And what's crazy, it's not just me, because after that happened, I checked online, and a lot of people that suffer from that, they've experienced that. Yeah, the running of somebody running into the room, walking into the room, and running out of the room, or if not, also, because when you have sleep paralysis, you could actually kind of open your eyes, and if it's daytime and you're sleeping during the day, like taking a nap, you'll be able to see in the room. Not clearly, but blurry. You'll see, like if you're facing the wall, you'll be able to see the wall. Oh, yeah. And a lot of people experience this, and I experienced it only a couple of times, where you would see like a shadow. A shadow person.
Bingo.
Crazy, huh?
Same thing.
So I mean, it's crazy that a lot of people experience that,
and it's always like an evil sensation sometimes.
Well, I don't. You know what? I don't think it's evil. I think it's more the unknown.
Oh, right.
That makes you get you scared because you're like, what is it? Who is it?
Because you don't know if it's a demon, evil spirit, or an alien, or so.
Yeah, I think that's when everything that we've learned that scares us as kids, that kicks in. Like that's what you right away you start thinking, oh, it's the devil. But I mean, we don't know what it is.
We don't.
But
there was a moment when we were younger. Me and my brother Victor, we were upstairs in separate rooms, and before we went up, I was playing guitar that night, and I left the guitar by the staircase, right on the staircase, and we just walked up. He went to his room, I went to my room, and that night we both suffered from sleep paralysis. That same night, which is really weird. He went through the notions, the fluttering, and the uneasy feeling, and he said he felt something, like you said, scatter, and he heard it on top of the ceiling, like just going up there and moving over towards my room. And he said a few minutes later that that thing left running, and it might have gone downstairs, and all of a sudden he hears the guitar, bong, like if it was just been hit on the side. I don't know how true that is, or if he was dreaming that, because we both saw the guitar. I laid it down there, right there, and it might be like a last memory, or it could be some sort of spirit. Because I also, when I was going through sleep paralysis that night, I heard the same thing. I went through the notion, the whatever it is, the sleep paralysis, and I heard something up on the outside in the ceiling, in the roof.
Yeah, that's weird.
Yeah,
I mean, there has to be something to it, and I have no explanation for it. It's just so it's trippy that so many people, it happens to so many people with the exact same details to
right,
like the shadow and the footsteps and stuff. So anyway, that's happy Halloween.
Well, maybe it's a generational thing. Maybe certain generations experience that kind of like a dreaming. Older generations before color TV, they would only dream in black and white. And the newer generations that would dream, it would be color. Yeah. So maybe our generation has these footsteps and shadow things, but maybe the newer, younger generation, maybe they see something differently because they're exposed to a different form of media, if that's the scientific route.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the thing is, sleep paralysis has been around forever.
Yeah.
Because you hear that used to hear stories from my parents, and they used to hear stories from their grandparents,
right, with
the exact same stuff. So I mean, if it might change, right, but I mean, I don't know how. Maybe every 1,000 years,
just slightly, huh?
Anyways, before we go on, Damian Franko,
what's up? Call me shady today.
What are you doing here? You know what that reminds me of? The SNL. Have you seen when they do that like a sketch where it's the Californians, and somebody walks into them, they're like, "What are you doing here?"
Yeah.
Anyways, guys, welcome Damian Franko for the Halloween episode. It's not Carlos.
No, well, maybe I am. I'm just in costume.
He did not change his outfit. Anyways, guys, I wanted to have Damian here for the Halloween special because, she's become almost a regular on the show, which is awesome. So she came dressed up as Dead Sandy.
Yeah, no, Shady.
My counterpart.
Shady.
I know. Talking about Grease.
Shandy.
Shandy. Yeah. You know what? I love that costume. Especially because it was from that film you did, right? The short film.
Yeah, from Death Park.
Yeah. So.
It's Dead Park.
Dead Park.
Death Park.
Yeah. All right. But anyways, let's get to the scary story. Did you have a scary story you might want to share with us?
Okay, so I have a story that it involves Jack. A lot of my stories are with Jack.
Cue Halloween music.
Yeah, yeah, whatever. Well, yeah. Go ahead. So when I was working at Seaside Pharmacy back in the day, my friend was telling me, I'm not going to mention her name, she was telling me that one of her friends, when they were 19 years old, there was a car accident and he died in the back seat. So her two friends, one was driving, one was in the back. The one driving was drunk. He hit a tree. The car flipped, hit a fire hydrant, and the water was gushing in, but the kid in the back, he bumped his head and was knocked out.
Okay.
And then so he actually died from drowning from the water that was gushing in from the fire hydrant. Okay, so she tells me about that happened to her friend years ago, because she was already in her 20s and stuff. So I go home in the same duplex, you know.
Oh yeah.
Say where everything like started.
Yeah.
So I go home, and then a little bit later on in the afternoon, Jack, he's about 4 years old at the time, he comes running down the hallway screaming, and he's like, there's a monster in the room. So me and Joel, we go over there, we look in the room, and he's like, it's hiding, Mommy, it's hiding. And then so we come back out to the front room, and Joel gives him a piece of paper and a pen. He's like, you know, why don't you draw a picture of the monster that you saw? So, and I had hardwood floors at the time, so he's sitting on the floor, and he's like, you know, like them scary movies when you're like the kid's scribbling. Mm-hmm. So he starts going in a circular motion, like, you know, penning on the paper. And he's all, there's a car. He's like, there's a monster in the tree. Mommy, there's a monster in the tree. And the whole time he's doing this, scribbling. He's like, he goes, the car, the car hits the tree, Mommy, the car hits the tree, and then the car flips, and he goes, and then the boy, Mommy, the boy hit his head. He goes, ow, Mommy, the boy hit his head. He goes, and the water, Mommy, the water, and the boy fell asleep. And then I'm like, what? I got the chills right now, because he basically told me the same thing that my friend at work told me hours before, when I didn't even tell anybody about that story that my friend had just told me. And he keeps repeating himself, the story over and over. He's like, Mommy, the monster in the tree, Mommy. And he's scribbling. And I'm like, and I didn't even tell Joel yet at the time. Joel's standing there like, oh, that's weird. It was just weird. Like, the whole thing was weird. And yeah, and then he's like, I think I probably have that paper somewhere, but then I called my friend, and I was like, dude, my son just told me the whole story about what you told me hours ago. And she's like, how? I'm like just no idea. But Jack used to, at that time, would know things or say things to me. Like, I would think something, and he would be like, oh, so why? Or like, you know, why this and why that? Like something that I'm thinking, or I'm like, dang, dude, like, I need to stop thinking, like, because he would know what I'm saying in my head.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
But that story always freaked me out, because I was like, dang.
I mean, that's crazy, because, you know, we've talked about before how it is that you attract, you know, the spirits, because everywhere you go, you seem to something always happens. Even at your job. Yeah. So now I'm thinking, you know, with your kid.
Yeah.
And then your dad had his stories, and now your kid, it just seems like it's enhancing, like it's getting stronger and stronger. Yeah. That's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, he would say stuff too, but that one incident was more than scary for me, because it was just like, he was all crazy on the paper, like,
yeah, like in the movies.
Like in the movies. I'm like, ah. And then when he was done, I mean, the paper was like, you know, crazy, scary stuff.
Yeah.
I was like, Jack, get away from me.
That's such a good story.
Yeah. Oh, thanks.
But you know, I guess I'll share one with you. I don't know if I ever told you about a haunting that happened to me in PV.
Yeah.
Right, you know, because I did a lot of work in PV, and there was this house. This was a while back. This house that this old man lived at. Right.
Yeah.
It was an old man, and he, I guess his family had passed away already. His wife, and I guess his kids were grown up and moved away.
Yeah.
So he ran a business from his house, right? Because he had properties and stuff, and he passed away already too.
Yeah.
But he ran a business from the basement, right? He ended up making like offices.
Yeah.
And so he had secretaries and all that stuff. And you know, as time went by, you know, because when I met him, he was already old.
Yeah.
So in a few years, you know, he got really bad, like, you know, to the point where he couldn't go up and down the stairs anymore.
Yeah.
But anyways, I went to do a job there, and you know, usually what would happen when I would go, they would leave. So they're like, okay, we're leaving, just lock up.
Yeah.
Checks in the office downstairs.
Yeah.
So I start setting up, right? I'm going in and out, and this happened on the top floor. I'm walking through. They have like a hallway, very similar to where where you used to live. It's like this long hallway, and there was 3 bedrooms. First door, second door, and the master room was all the way in the back.
Yeah.
So, I'm setting up. I walk in, and I'm looking at everything, because there was one room that they never gave me access to.
Oh.
Right?
Yeah.
The first room.
Yeah.
When you walk into the hallway. And they're like, that's fine. You don't have to, don't go in there. Just leave it closed.
Yeah.
And I always respected it. I never thought about it. So I'm going in. I go in all the way to the back, start setting up. And as I'm walking back, the door's open, right? And I'm like, oh, okay, maybe the wind opened it, because I'm going in and out of the house.
Yeah.
So I get the door, close it, and, go back.
Yeah.
Didn't think about it twice. Go all the way to the back and come back out, because in the work I did, I had to set up hoses from the furthest room to the exit. So I go back in, carry some stuff, walking back out, the door's open again, and this time I was like, okay, something's up. So again, I try to rationalize it.
Yes.
I close it, and this time I wiggle it. I'm like, okay,
you can make sure.
there's no way now, it's maybe I didn't close it right. So after that, as I'm working myself out, it's like an hour into the job, and I'm keeping an eye on the door this time.
Yeah.
Like, okay, is it open? What's going on? And no, everything's fine. So then I'm listening to my music, and I kind of forget about it.
Yeah.
So I finish work. I put down some paper runners, go to the back, then go downstairs to get my my check payment. So I'm like, okay, so I get my stuff. I walk back upstairs just to double check, make sure I didn't forget anything, any, containers or anything. I go back up, the door's open.
Oh my God.
And by that point, I'm like, okay, this is paranormal.
Yes.
So I kind of peek inside the room, and there's nothing there. It's only like a kid's bed.
Yeah.
And I think a small desk, and that's it. But no, nothing on the walls.
Yeah.
Nothing on top of anything. No, I think the bed didn't even have like blankets or anything. So I'm thinking, okay, this is kind of strange.
Yeah.
I close up. They end up not calling me anymore, because the guy, the man ends up going to the like a hospice kind of thing.
Oh,
like
yeah.
And one of the secretaries ends up calling me like a few months later, and to go to her place. So I go, and that's still in my head.
Yeah.
Like, I'm remembering.
Yeah.
And so when I was done, I talked to her for a little bit, and I'm like, you know what? Something really strange happened, the last time I went to that house, where you used to work. And she's right away, her eyes open, like, uh-oh, or like, what are you going to tell me? And I go, something happened where, when I told her the whole thing about the door opening and everything.
Yeah.
And she's like, did you see her?
Oh my God.
And I was all like, see who? And she's like, the little girl. And I'm all like, no.
Oh.
She's like, you don't know what happened there, huh?
Oh.
I'm like, no. He's like, well, the owner, his daughter committed suicide in that room. And she told me that other people that had worked there had seen her.
Oh.
And I didn't get to see her, but then it all made sense. Like, okay,
Wow.
so I know what happened. So that's my story.
Yeah, she's just like, I'm still here.
Yeah, but
yeah, they
cool. I'm
stay
glad.
around. I do think that when somebody commits suicide, they're more likely to be stuck here rather than, the people that just want to be here.
Yeah.
The spirits that just want to be here, like linger around today.
Stop hitting the mic.
Sorry.
Dang it.
I'm going to go shady on that mic.
Yeah. But you know what? I'm so glad you're here. Another reason Damian's here for the special is because we're actually working on a project.
Yes.
And we're ready to talk about it now, We had talked about it before.
Yeah.
And
I don't think we talked about it, but like for the viewers to...
Yeah.
Remember we...
Yeah. Well, I mean, we talked about it.
We talked about it, yeah.
And we're working on a project. We're actually going to start a podcast, which is going to be more like a talk show. You know, it's going to be called Pull Up a Chair. So
So
we'll
excited.
probably
Yeah.
be releasing the first video. I'm saying sometime mid-November.
Yeah.
Getting ready for.
Yeah, get ready for us.
Yeah, it's gonna be exciting.
I am so excited about that.
Yeah. But anyways, is there anything you
Yeah.
want to say before I send you back?
Are you gonna send me back? Phew, I think I'm good. I don't know.
Yeah.
Happy Halloween.
Yeah, happy Halloween,
My
everyone.
favorite holiday.
I know.
Yes.
Your makeup is awesome. It's still
Thank
tripping me
you.
out.
It's starting to drip a little bit.
I'll probably
Yeah.
put a little close up of her face right
There you
here, so you guys
go.
can know what I'm talking about.
You can't really see it from there, right?
No.
Like,
Unless they zoom in somehow.
how about now?
Yeah. Anyways, all right, Damien. Well, thanks
All
for
right.
being here, and
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, Damien will be back.
I'm back.
Yeah, or else we'll see you go see her on the other show. All right, D.
All right. Bye, guys.
And we're back.
Things
Yeah.
changed.
Yeah. Hey, Damien's costume was really cool, dude.
Yeah. Oh, I can't wait to watch the episode.
Yeah. She was actually sitting right there.
Oh,
Just 3 seconds ago. Anyways.
it's a transformation.
Transformation. Damien, what happened to you?
I turned into a fat Ghostbuster.
You wanted to talk about the Halloween movies, right?
Oh yeah. I'm not sure how familiar you guys are with Rob Zombie. Rob Zombie's been around for a long time. He used to have a rock band. He's a rock musician, and he used to have a rock band called White Zombie. He broke up with them several years after, and he came out with the song when he went solo called Dragula. Now, Dragula is a song that's loosely probably based off of Grandpa Monster's drag racer in this show called The Munsters. And it's a pretty cool looking car. Anyways, Rob Zombie's a big fan of The Munsters, and now he's involved in the Munsters movie. He released a couple of pictures on, I believe it's Instagram or maybe Twitter, where he did a whole recreation of not just the Munsters mansion, but he's also going to redo the whole neighborhood. And that movie might come out either next year or the year after that. But it's looking really good. And just yesterday or the day before, depends on the airing of this video, he released the pictures of the actual actors in makeup, and they look so cool.
So is it a reboot of the Munsters movie? Because I know there was a Munsters movie that came out back in the day with the Munsters.
Right.
Is it a reboot of that, or is it just a completely original?
It's probably gonna be a complete original because it's
good.
I believe the Munsters movie just took off after that show.
Oh, okay.
Where this is gonna be a movie of the Munsters, but I'm not too certain whether it's gonna be an actual movie of like the Munsters, like the Addams Family, or it's gonna be like something behind the scenes of the Munsters, or if it's going to be Munsters on a serious or a funny side. So I can't wait to tell you more about it later.
Okay.
But Rob Zombie is behind the design of the construction and all that of the area, then the makeup, the costumes, and the actors look amazing. They look pretty good.
Yeah. You know what? I actually want to watch the Halloween Kills.
Yes.
Because I've heard good things about it.
Well, did you watch the one before that?
No.
Okay. So I don't know why companies or movie studios are doing this these days. Before Halloween Kills, there was a movie called Halloween, which is
Wait.
yeah, which is
So the one before Halloween Kills is called Halloween?
It's called Halloween with 2018, right?
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah. So it's weird because that one's called Halloween, which is actually part 2 of Halloween 1978. So
Wait. So Halloween 2018 is a sequel to Halloween?
It's the sequel. It's the direct sequel to Halloween from 1978.
They discarded the other Halloween movies?
Yeah. So Halloween to 1980, whatever it was,
doesn't
gone.
exist.
So they did a Doc Brown where the DeLorean starts here, and then instead of this timeline, which is the old one from the 80s, they're jumping now. So Halloween 78 is going to Halloween 2018, I believe it is, and now it's Halloween Kills.
So it kind of created its own timeline, basically.
Right. And then after that one, there's going to be Last Halloween, I believe it's going to be called. And that's going to, might wrap it up. But it's going to be 4 movies altogether.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's going to be the last one.
Okay. So that kind of gets me excited then because I had no idea. But you know what? The 2018 one, I didn't even go watch it because I was like, oh, that's like part 18.
Yeah, I know. You get burnt out. But I saw it, I believe, last year. Because I was going to plan on talking about it. And it's actually pretty good.
You know
I
what?
liked it.
The marketing was horrible for it then because I had no clue.
Yeah.
I thought it was just another sequel like the.
Right, and that's the thing I was just telling you that you're just burnt out. It's like, oh, Halloween, throw me another Freddy movie. Or
like if I would have heard what you told me right now in the commercial, then I would have been like, cool, like you said, they skipped the timeline and make it sound like Back to the Future.
That's why I'm here.
Yeah, so now I'm gonna watch it. So I'm gonna watch 2018 and the new one. Halloween Kills.
Kills.
That one's out already, right?
And that one's out already, okay. And that's part 3 now. And they're going to come out with the 4th one called Last Halloween, I believe.
Rob Zombie did part 2?
No, Rob Zombie did the ones that were the reboots, the set that was before.
Oh, that's right. I like
2007, 2000.
Well, I like the first one.
Yes, I
that was
enjoyed
good.
It too. He's good at what he does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Did you like the Devil's Rejects and the
I like
House of a Thousand Corpses?
Yeah, I like that. Yeah,
it's a big fan.
Yeah, there's a lot of really good Halloween movies. Mm-hmm. One of the ones that I'm actually excited for, and it's gonna sound kind of dumb, is Hocus Pocus. They're making a sequel to it, dude.
Yeah, I know. You told me a while back.
And they're bringing back the cast.
Yeah,
and they're already filming it. Mm-hmm. So
that movie is fun.
It is.
I try not to dog it because I watched it and I enjoyed it.
We watch it every year.
Yeah,
we just watched it. I watch it with my daughters. Loved it. The wife is tired of it. She usually walks away. But me and the kids.
And it's wholesome. It's wonderful entertainment.
It's a great.
They can enjoy it with the kids, movie. And the girls are good.
All those double-sided jokes.
Yeah.
But anyways, yeah, but. You know what? I wanted to talk about also, and I know we've talked about this. I think on the last Halloween episode we did, right, which was only like 5 episodes from this one.
Yeah.
I think like episode 38.
We're trying to catch up.
Yeah, we're trying to catch up. Because we were missing in action for about a year.
Mm-hmm.
But I wanted to like kind of go back and talk about Halloween as kids.
Yes.
Like our memories, and especially because. I didn't celebrate Halloween for, most of my life, but I did get a couple years in, when I was real little. And those memories really stuck with me, even though it's 40 years ago. But my first memory is, you remember this, was when we barely came from Mexico. Again, I already had cousins that were here, and they were a little bit older than me. And they're like, we're going to go trick-or-treating. And I had no idea what it was, Yeah. And so they're like, well, you need to have a costume. And, we didn't have any money and stuff. But it was just me and my mom. Mm-hmm. So my cousin, I think it was my cousin George, shout out to my cousin George. He came up with the idea, well, you know what? Let's just get a paper bag. We'll cut some holes for eyes. Put it on your head. Let's go.
Works.
And we did do it, and I loved it. I had a great time.
Oh,
one of the most memorable, one of the best memories I have as a child.
And it makes it, it made it all better.
And even though back then we lived in Compton, so we really didn't go like today. With my kids, we'll go for blocks, walk for blocks. Mm-hmm. But back then, of course, it was just like you had to stay real close to your house. Yeah. It was just like the front of the block and across the street.
It's the 80s. It was pretty bad back then. So
yeah, but one of the best memories ever. Just getting and I think back then, I got like maybe 10 candies, a couple apples, and bags of raisins or something.
Reminds me of a story that I had for Halloween at Barton Hill. Every year, Barton Hill, the kids would have a Halloween parade, and they would go out to the field, and they would walk around that large track in the center, the painted track.
Yeah.
That year, I guess I forgot to tell my mom, and she didn't purchase or make a costume for me. So I was supposed to walk around that just with plain clothes, right? And I was kind of upset. And oh my God, I think she was a TA, or I don't know if she was a teacher or the TA, but she was the nicest lady. She got 2 large pieces of construction paper and drew a pumpkin on it, the eyes in the front and the lines in the back, and just stapled it around my body. And it just...
She stapled it around your body?
Well, the holes and everything else.
How big was the bag?
Well, they cut the holes. It's not a bag. It's just paper that.
Like construction paper.
Like large construction sheets, right?
Okay, so you stapled them all.
Yeah,
like a bag.
Well, it's cut out and the hands and everything. I put on.
Okay, that's cool.
And happily,
what teacher was it? Shout out.
I don't know, but shout out to Barton Hill teachers.
Yeah, Barton Hill,
awesome. And
Miss Wilbert.
Yes, and it was wonderful. I was able to walk that little area and be happy. And by the time I finished my walk, the thing was all torn and ripped from all the struggle.
All the staples are falling off.
But yeah, she made my day. happy about that.
Yeah, you know what? I kind of think back to that, you know, because as many of you guys know, I didn't celebrate, you know, holidays for, you know, religious reasons. But, you know, even just thinking back when, like that, when, you know, the kids would walk around, I remember that would always make me very sad.
Yeah.
And I shouldn't go there. This Halloween, we should have to be happy.
Yeah.
But anyways, what other memory do you have of Halloween? You know what? I've seen pictures of you with your cousins.
Yes. Which ones?
So those must be really good memories too.
Yes, they have some great memories with my cousins. We would go out and through Santa Cruz Street and around the corner and just trick or treat. We would dress up and all kinds of costumes that we would make ourselves. It would be fun. We would do it ourselves. Or I believe one year we actually made a haunted house at Maria's parents' house. We set up a bunch of cardboard boxes that we found and made walls. And within these walls, we made little rooms. And each cousin had a certain room to spook the kids.
Yeah.
And it was fun. And my next door neighbor at the time, he went through there. He was like, oh, this is pretty cool. Can you help me do one next year? And I helped him do one next year. And it just went to the next level.
Yeah.
We used 2x4s and put up walls and cloth, and there was a scene with the chainsaw, and we had a bunch of kids coming through, and one older lady came, and when she was almost done with the whole thing,
freaked her out.
The chainsaw came out, and she was like, ah, and my next door neighbor got her good. Let's just say she had an accident.
Oh, damn. I didn't know I was going to go there.
But yes, I had some memorable moments for Halloween. In fact, this suit right here that I'm wearing was part of a larger ensemble with a proton pack and a ghost trap.
Oh, that's right.
And my buddy helped me. Actually, we both built Ghostbuster costumes one year. This is like in 2000, maybe 2001, 2002.
I think I remember you wearing this.
Yeah.
To one of the parties at the Salvato's house.
Oh, yeah. I've worn this a few times already. And it might have been that same year. That was a long time ago, wasn't it?
That was a long time
2002?
ago.
2003, around there?
I have no idea, but I remember that party.
So my biggest memory is going out with, it was Beatrice. I believe she was like a pharaoh. There was Edgar, who was a Ghostbuster like myself. And then we had our buddy Frank, tall guy. And we dressed him up like...
Slimer.
No. What's his name? Rick Moranis. That scene where he has that pasta strainer on his head with a bunch of wires sticking out.
Yeah, Honey, I Shrunk the Kids.
Yeah, that actor, but he's in Ghostbusters and he has this pasta strainer on his head and he has a bunch of wires, and he dressed up as that nerd guy. And so we actually went to a club where they had Power 106 and Big Boy was there. I think I might have told the story last year, right?
I don't remember.
Well, yeah, I did. I believe so. This is where we had a contest and we went up on stage.
Oh, that's right.
And then we got beat by the piñata people.
That's right.
It was a lady dressed up as a piñata and another person, a man dressed up as a piñata, and the lady dressed up in the traditional like Mexican clothing would have a stick and dance around and hit the piñata, and the piñata would just go like but throw candies at the same time towards the crowd. But yeah, I've always had good times during Halloween, and for some reason, maybe I lost interest. I stopped doing stuff for a while. But I want to get back and do it again.
Well, you should, dude. You should, because you know what? I didn't dress up. The last time I had dressed up was when I was, when I came from Mexico with a paper bag. Yeah. And you know what? And I did have like 2 other Halloweens where, I think I only did the parade at school when I was little. Where they would get those plastic masks from like the dollar store or something. Oh. That's just like a rubber band that would pull your hair.
That was poison for kids back in the 80s. Yeah.
No wonder.
My favorite was a Superman, because I guess the movie came out at the time.
Yeah.
And had the Superman plastic one.
I think they had Casper too.
I was Casper. Actually, I should have brought a picture of myself as Casper.
I think I had the
Casper. Trying to scare Richie like this.
Yeah, we'll put it right here. We'll share it right here if you find it.
Yeah, I'll find it. I'll send it to you tomorrow.
Yeah. But, so... those are like the only memories I have as a child. Like it was like 3 times that I dressed up.
Yeah.
Well, I think not really dressed up, just put stuff on my face. But remember a few years back, I think it was, I want to say like 7 years ago, I finally ended up dressing up again for Halloween.
Nice.
I was Michael Myers, remember?
Yes.
I'll put a picture here.
Not only was he Michael Myers, he was Michael Myers, and I guess it was somebody's birthday party, whatever it was, and he was up there on top of the garage, and
right.
he was doing what was a popular
Oppa Gangnam Style.
Yeah, he was doing the whole routine up there, doing that
Up on top of the roof.
Yeah, oh, it's the funniest thing ever.
Those were the drinking days. Yeah.
I don't think you need alcohol for that.
Oh no. Yeah. So you know what?
Yeah.
It's cool. Enjoy it. Enjoy while we still can.
Yeah,
you know,
while I can still move around.
Dress up, have a good time. You know, as long as you're safe, have a good time. Don't go up on roofs and dance.
Yeah, unless you got a safety rail or something.
Yeah.
A little hoist.
Or unless you're dressed up as a roofer, you know.
Well, the thing is, you're
tied up to the roof.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, you're Michael Myers. If you fall off, you can always get back up again.
I know. You just look at the lawn and then I'm gone.
Do the Undertaker thing.
I'll be back next Halloween. Was there anything else you want to talk about, Carlos?
No, not really. I mean, we pretty much covered all the stories that we talked about.
Yeah.
But I mean, Halloween is one of those amazing days of celebration. I even took a couple of days off from work, Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Oh, nice. What do you have, like a bunch of Halloween parties or what?
I'm gonna try to.
Yeah.
Hit me up either here or at my Instagram.
Yeah, Instagram. You know, send him an invite on his Instagram. He'll go anywhere. Yeah. But anyways, guys. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe.
Yes.
You know, happy Halloween. Happy Halloween to everybody.
Happy Halloween.
You know, screw it.
Go get your pumpkin pie, eat your candies, whether you like the full-size Snickers or
I wish.
or the candy corn. Some people still like that stuff.
You know what? I'm at that point in my life. Mm-hmm. It's weird. I kind of went back to my teenage years where I can't eat chocolate. Because then I just get like 100 pimples. I do. It's weird.
And then you got to wash your face. I think.
I do every day, like 2 or 3 times a day. Anyways. All right, guys. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe. Yes. Follow us on Instagram. Follow the technician. That's your Instagram, right? The technician?
Yes, the technician.
Follow the technician. You know.
We'll put it here somewhere.
Yeah. And happy Halloween. And you know what? Christmas is coming quick.
Oh man, what happened to Thanksgiving though, man?
Quick.
What's going on with that? It's like neglected or something. Huh?
Yeah, I know. We should do a Thanksgiving episode.
It's kind of
where everybody goes to sleep.
Yeah, we eat the turkey. And all it is 30 minutes of us like, oh,
go Dodgers.
Go Dodgers. Saturday, Sunday.
Yeah. Oh yeah, huh?
Yeah.
Tomorrow's a big game.
Yeah, tomorrow's a big game.
I'll be editing. Oh man. All right, guys. Well, thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys next time.
Thank you.
Happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween.
So you know what, with Carlos, I was talking about what was like, we're talking about our memories as children, for Halloween, our first memories, especially. Maybe your first costume that you ever wore and stuff.
Yeah.
So what's your favorite?
Okay, so I have a pretty cool memory. So in kindergarten, you remember in elementary school, you do the parade. You walk around in your costume.
Yeah,
that's one of my favorite things. So it's really cool to get to see my kids do that now. But when I was in kindergarten, I was a cowgirl. And in this little red, I'll find a picture and send it to you. But some of my little cowgirl costume, and we did our walk around. And then at the end of the parade, Miss McMillan, she was our principal at the time. She was a cowgirl too. So she walks all the way across the yard, grabs me by my hand, and she takes me around in the whole circle, just me and her walking around. And it was like...
Was it because you had the best costume?
No, she was a cowgirl. I was a cowgirl.
Oh, I see.
She's like, I remember her walking towards me, and then she just puts out her hand. She didn't even say anything. Puts out her hand, and I held her hand, and we walked around for everybody to see us. And it was like, that's one of my favorite, most special memories in elementary school.
You know what? You're kind of creeping me out.
Yeah, because my face.
Yeah, because I can see all that blood. And you did that all yourself, right?
Yeah. I could do better, but
yeah, like
it's all melting. I'm melting.
Yeah. No, you know what? Bringing that up about when we were in school, I remember, because as if you watched the show before. I've talked about how I didn't really celebrate holidays growing up.
Yeah.
But I do remember one time I did get to do the
parade.
The parade.
Yeah.
And I think I was wearing one of those those cheap plastic masks. Remember those?
Yeah, from like Thrifties or something.
Yeah,
or Newberry's or something, the plastic.
And I think it was from
cool.
like a dollar store or
something. Yeah, those are still cool to me. I don't know.
And I think it was like It must have been like a gingerbread man or something.
Aww.
Something dumb like that.
That's cute, though. I think we all had to wear those at least once in our lives as kids.
But that's cool.
Yeah.
ID.
All right. Bye, guys.